I'm going to now talk about a story which will shock you. This organization, this platform was built to serve the nation. Now, viewers, in Congress hands, it's being reduced to serving liquor. This is how the legacy of our freedom fighters, the original stakeholders of National Herald, of the private limited company that was at one time controlling National Herald, is slowly being pawned for profit. Times Now SIT team did a status check on properties of the National Herald, now owned by Young Indian, which, viewers, is controlled with a majority stake by the Gandhi family. Although it is registered as a non-profit organization, Times Now will reveal how its properties are being leased out for commercial purposes. Remember, the Gandhis own 76% of the shares and own assets worth at least 122.5 crores as per estimates, and these are very conservative estimates. Instead of printing a newspaper which provided a platform in the good old days, viewers, to our freedom fighters to take on the British at concessional rates, these buildings are now selling clothes, hardware, and yes, liquor. That's right. I will take you through what is happening in different premises. In Lucknow, the Nehru Manzil building in Kaisarbagh, which once housed the National Herald, shops are being rented, used as godowns. Beer shops are opening on AJL Associated Journals Limited premises. There's the visual evidence. Viewers, Herald House in Delhi is partly rented to the Passport Office and several other commercial establishments. The BJP claims that 87 lakhs per month of rent is being collected since 2011. Viewers, in Mumbai, 200 shops are running out of the premises that once housed the National Herald. In Panchkula, Chandigarh, there's little movement in the AGL office. We don't know how this legacy is being squandered. Viewers, let's open these questions out. I want to bring in Dr. Subramanian Swamy first. Dr. Swamy, you are an original petitioner in this case. I want to ask you, does the Associated Journal Limited renting out its properties constitute an illegality, sir, on the part of Young Indians, which is a company that is owned wholly, or at least in which the Gandhis have a majority stake of 76%? Dr. Swamy.
Of course, the renting out of the one on the Bahadur Shah Zafar Marg, that's a clear illegality, because originally that land was given for printing a newspaper. It was given on concessional terms and for a newspaper only and nothing else. Instead of that, they have got Tata's Tata Consultancy Service, they have got some American companies, and then they have got the huge part is being given to the Passport Authority of India.
Yes.
And so that is commercial activity which is prohibited by the original DDA.
So let me ask you.
Associated Journals Limited.
No, Dr. Swamy, if it does, according to you, constitute an illegality, which section of the law does it violate, sir?
So, breach of trust, and that is a very important part of criminal law. I think it's 409, if I'm not wrong, which is a very, very harsh punishment also. And there's also 405. There are three sections in the criminal code, in the IPC, which prohibits breach of contract, breach of trust, this is not a contract. It's a breach of trust, because the trust, it was based on giving it to the AJL for purely activity of printing a newspaper, which
that's very interesting. Dr. Swamy, the Congress claims that the rent was used for the purpose of restarting the newspaper. Is this explanation valid, Dr. Swamy?
Well, there is all the machines in that building have been ripped apart and sold second hand, and they have been printing their weekly National Herald newspaper in Indian Express printing press.
Well, viewers, thank you, Dr. Swamy. Thank you for providing this perspective to us. This matter has, of course, also been commented upon by the courts. Thank you very much. Let's open this up, viewers. Very quickly, I want to go around the table. Sanjay Jha is there with us. GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP are there with us. Ishkaran Bhandari also. Meeta Chakravarti. I don't know if I'll have time to come across to all of you, but Sanjay Jha, here is a shocking expose. Shocking expose. How do you react to this? I mean, the legacy of the freedom fighters is being exploited. This platform that was built to serve the nation now serves liquor to all of us. Platform for India's patriots is being pawned for profit. What's going on?
Rahul, I'll give you a short answer because it is fair that everyone on the panel must get a chance to speak.
Yeah.
So I'll keep my answer very brief. Rahul, please understand this, that when the National Herald paper went bankrupt, it had terrible financial losses. Tell me, if you have real estate and it is not being used, you have an obligation to try and get some kind of a rate of return on it so that you can fulfill all your onerous liabilities, whether it's paying provident fund dues or delayed salaries or other borrowings. And that is the way any business is run. You had Dr. Swamy who came earlier and said that, that is wrong. Well, let me tell you, that is not an illegal act at all. In fact, that is, in my opinion, a financially prudent act. Let me give you a second example. I live in Mumbai, and when the textile mills went bankrupt, when the textile
Sir,
mills...
there are very big difference between the textile mill...
Just hear me out. When the textile mills went bankrupt, Rahul, you lived close to that area. The Times Now office is in that area. You have had swanky restaurants. You have had commercial offices.
Sir, was that textile mill set up, sir, to serve a non-profitable cause? Yes or no?
The company has not distributed dividend. There are
Sir, no. One second. Hang on. What's the problem with National Herald making profit by renting out its properties? Now, let me tell you about Section 26 of the Companies Act that Dr. Swamy was also talking about. GVL Narasimha, I want to bring you in on this. I just want to quickly apprise our viewers. Young Indians are registered as a not-for-profit company. It's been formed to promote art, science, religion, charity, etc. Didn't see any reference to serving liquor by renting out its premises. Apply its profits for income in promoting its objectives. Promoting art, science, religion, charity, and of course, viewers, very, very importantly, to bring out the National Herald newspaper. It's not being brought out in its physical form.
It is out.
It is out as a digital product, sir.
It's a digital
as a digital product.
They also publish a newspaper.
As a digital product. Who employs... One second. Are you telling me, sir, that it runs... Listen, we know a little bit about this business. Are you telling me, sir, that the rent that you charge from all these buildings is inadequate to even run a small digital company? Mr. Jha, where is the excess money going?
No,
Rahul, let me tell you.
Section 25 of the Companies Act prohibits payment of any dividends to its members. GVL Narasimha wants to come in on this point.
There is no dividend, there is no money laundering, nothing at all. There's no corruption, they have no evidence.
Rahul, the unscrupulous manner in which money is being raked into National Herald, into Young India through the National Herald, tells you why the family, why Gandhis were after taking over this company. why they were interested in taking over this so-called newspaper. Because they wanted to earn all this money by violation of the contractual agreements that National Herald has gone into. People were questioning as to why they are still holding on to these shares. Because they want to earn this money. They have made this a special purpose vehicle to earn hundreds of crores of money as rental income into a company which they alone can enjoy as private property. I think
four editions of the National Herald are brought out. Are we to believe that each and every paisa that is earned from these commercial activities that are not supposed to be carried out under Section 25 of the Companies Act, that every single paisa is being used to run these editions? If that is the case, why isn't the Congress coming out and making this very clear in public by putting out the documents? What's the secrecy?
It's already there in the public domain, Rahul. The balance sheet and P&L can be accessed by
it's all in the public
RC
domain.
website.
It's all in the public domain. When you ask those questions, the Congress says, oh, well, you know, we are using it. We are using it for these productive purposes. G.V. Narasimha Rao, respond to that one.
Where is the secrecy? I haven't
understood. What productive purposes? I think all that the National Herald has been doing since 2008 is to only publish some web articles, which requires only one or two people to simply put together, copy, paste, and then create some web documents. Where is this hundreds of crores of money being earned through rents, commercial lending out to even beer bars and whatever? Where is that money going? And why, if the Gandhi family is not after this money, why were these shares not given away to Sanjay Jha of the Congress? Why did they not split? Why
That's a valid point. Viewers, one second, let me just step in here because I need to end this show. If all it took to make National Herald solvent again was to rent out its assets. I'm sorry, Ms. Chakravarti, I've run out of time today. I told you that it may be difficult to take all of you people in. We came a little late to this debate. I'm terribly sorry about wasting your time. I hope you accept my apologies, but I just want to finish by saying, viewers, one thing. If all it took was to rent out a few properties to get the National Herald back on its feet again, why then did Young Indian have to take over AJL in the first place? Why then was AJL taken over at the cost of dispensing with all its stakeholders? And who are these stakeholders? They were freedom fighters. Why did the Gandhis have to have a majority stake? Those are some